Hello everyone, and welcome to another What Wednesday video. So for today's video I wanted to share with you my inspiration idea cans, scrap cans, whatever you want to call them. For me they are my inspiration cans, so I think that's what I'm going to be sticking with. That's just not the names that are on there, but I have two of them, so it's taken me a while to even figure out what I was gonna do. This has actually been on my projects list for, I don't know, months, maybe a year. It's been that long. But I finally got a chance to actually sit down and work on it, and so I'm so glad that I did. So I have two different size cans here. As you can see, two different size. And they are filled with two different types of ideas. So I have my fun ideas and then my fun extras. And I really was just playing around. My kids actually gave me the idea to use the word fun. So, and you know, it works because these are fun, fun things to use. If, you know, I get stuck, I don't know what kind of card I want to make, I go to my fun ideas. It gives me ideas, that sort of thing. And then this is for like embellishments and stuff. So we'll get into this one in just a minute. I just took an old can. This actually happened to be an almond roca can that we had around. I want to say my husband got it or my parents had it. I'm not even sure how I ended up with an almond roca can. It's kind of a touchy story in my family. It's funny, but not to my grandmother, so we don't bring it up. That's besides the point. So I had it, I did kind of give it a quick little rinse out, wash, because it is cardboard, and even though the inside is protected, I didn't want to soak it in water, so I did just kind of rinse it out, wiped it out, air dried it, that sort of thing. I covered it with some, scraps from my scrap box, which of course is always a great use of your leftover scraps. I didn't know decorative wise what I really wanted to do. I did have these letters. These are from Quinn's Capital ABCs from Lawn Fawn. The heart is from the Cricut Explorer. It's from a previous project that I had, and I did add it up here just to do a little something to the lid. The glue that I use to hold everything in place is the quick dry adhesive. I love this stuff. It's wet, but it gives you the strong kind of hold like a hot glue gun would. It does dry relatively quickly. It depends on what kind of surface you're putting it on. But for this, it does a nice hold. It holds nice, you know, I mean, it holds tightly. And a relatively thin layer and, you know, 5-10 seconds of pressure on there, and it held it down nicely. It's messy here because I didn't quite get it up to the edge, but I didn't want to peel it back, so I laid a bead down and then smeared it with my finger so that it would seal, and it's nice and sealed. I mean, I don't know if you can hear that, but I can feel the edge, but I can't lift it, which is good. This side I did a little bit better, so it did ooze out, but it wasn't too bad, and it does dry, as you can see, clear. But it's got the same kind of rubbery feel as hot glue, so I would strongly recommend, if you don't have it, to go ahead and get this, because this is really great for just all kinds of projects. I don't use it a ton, mostly because it's a little more than I would want on my cards, but for bigger projects or stuff that I need to be really durable, I use this. So I just usually don't use that very often in videos. So like I said, I took some scraps, trimmed them down, made them fit, glued all my letters in my heart. Inside this one is just what it says, fun ideas. So this is full of themes for different kinds of cards and projects. So I just pop the lid off, kind of stick my hand in, and then I pull one out. So, you know, so now if I use this, if I get stuck, you know, like, oh, I want to make something, you know I want to make a card, but I don't have anything to make. Like, I don't have a birthday card that I need to make. or an anniversary card or so on and so forth. So I can still come back here and I can pull this out, and I will be using this and actually showing you what I've pulled out, and then be using that in the following video, or that video, depending on how things go. So I have just about anything you can think of. I have congratulations in here. I have wedding, anniversary, birthdays, belated birthdays, just because, as you saw, missing you. I have get well soon cards, or idea theme, you know, Father's Day, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day. I think I might even have Christmas or Halloween, which will be a little bit of a stretch, seeing as how I am I do have a hard time with that. I struggle when I see, you know, back to school stuff coming out, and school is only, you know, either a week away from being out or has only been out for a week, and it's kind of depressing, you know. And the same with Christmas and Halloween. It's I know as crafters we like to get a jump start on certain projects, and sometimes I don't mind seeing it, but there are times it's just a bit of a struggle to see, you know, Halloween stuff out, and we just had the 4th of July and so on and so forth. So, you know, so gift card holders, that sort of thing. Sorry, that's upside down. So just about any theme that you can kind of think of is in this can. And all I did was typed it up on my computer, printed it out on some cardstock, trimmed it down so they're all about the same height and length, and then just fold them up so they'd fit in there easier to get out. So there's that one, and I just have it on my little shelf back there, which I will take a picture, so it's just always sitting there. This one I did a little bit differently. This was actually a I believe a baby formula can that I had gotten from someone. I forget why I ended up with it. Again, I don't really know. But instead of covering the whole thing, I just took whatever I had, wrapped it around, glued it, and it didn't seem to want to stick down flat, so I did put some tape on there. This is the back side. No one's ever really going to see it except for right now, so I'm really not worried about it, but I can always go back in later and do it. I had this leftover rainbow pieces from the rainbow die set from Lawn Fawn, or die, not die set. This was actually a cloud that my daughter had punched out, as well as these ones. Oh no, excuse me, these ones are from the Cricut, from a previous project. So that's what the white clouds are for. But this one is from something my daughter made a birthday card. That's right. So she'd punched out a bunch of different ones. So this was just one that was left over, and I thought it would add the purple touch to the rest of this rainbow. So, and of course my favorite color is purple, one of them. So of course I had to add a little bit in there. And then I coated it with Wink of Stella, and again used the same quick dry glue. I was thinking about doing more on here, but I really just like the simple blue with the green, and the rainbow in the sky. So I left it pretty simple. These are a mix of the Quinn's capital and lowercase dies from Lawn Fawn, and again, just cardstock from my scraps. The same with this. I wanted to cover the whole lid, but I had decided I just wanted to, you know, I was going to cover the entire lid, but thought it would just be easier just to do a little bit on here, because it did have the, you know, the brand of formula on there, so I really just wanted to cover it up. And all I did for this was measured it out, sort of. I mean, I kind of eyeballed it, and then I put glue down, but it was so deep that I actually used foam dots on top of the glue to kind of help hold it in place. So those gave the right thickness so it could all be relatively flush. And again, no one's going to see it. So for this one, this has all the fun extras, all the extra things I have in my room. Glitter, although I don't think I have glitter anymore. I think I did get rid of all that. Watercolors, pencils, Copic markers, colored inks. So everything in here, again, is what I have in my stash. So it doesn't matter what it is. If it's, I think I have one in there for distress inks, distress markers, different colored ink pads to use on my project, bling, you know, whether it's Doodlebug or the miscellaneous bling I have, washi tape, this, that, whatever. So I can pick my idea, come in here, and I can pick out as many as I want. I'm hoping to kind of keep it to 2 or 3, but then I have to incorporate these in there. So for instance, I actually pulled out 4, so we're going to look at the 4. So if I've picked out, we'll say that I picked out a birthday card, I'd use a colored ink, and that basically just means no black, because otherwise I use black all the time. I'd also be using washi, so some washi tape there, border punch, so it'd be a very interesting birthday card. I actually have stuff for a birthday card for all these things, so that would work out. And then a shape punch. So again, I could make one entire card without using any stamps necessarily. Well, I'd use some kind of stamps, but colored ink, I could even substitute that if I'm going for like no stamps. I could substitute that for distress inks and do kind of a distressed background. I do have in there where, you know, it says stamps or how many stamps. I also have one that says no stamping, you know, top folding card, this size card, all that. So, you know, it varies, but that's where this comes in, so that I can kind of start using all of my things. So there's quite a bit in here. I'll dump it out just so you can see that there is, comparatively, there is a lot in this bucket. I mean, this is a lot of papers. It doesn't look like much because it is such a tall bucket, but I decided to use this for that because although themes will, you know, you can come up with other things. I could throw in, you know, miscellaneous ones like Donut Day or unbirthday card, you know, fun things like that. I won't be adding too many ideas to my idea can, but embellishments and extras and stuff like that can always be piled up because there's always new things. I did get the fuse tool, so I'll be making one for that to put in there so that I can incorporate that. I believe I even have one in here for making a shaker card, that sort of thing, or that's in the other can. I can't remember. Like I said, this has been a long overdue project that I needed to get done. So I have them in plain view, so anytime I get stuck or I come back here and go, I want to make something but I don't know what, you know, I can pull out both or one can over the other, that sort of thing. So I thought I would just share that. So again, I think this is be a great way for you to get all of the things that you have in your craft stash, whether you have a big craft stash or a small one, or you've just looked around and gone, I haven't touched these things in a while. I'm becoming more of a, I was going to say frugal, but that's not right. More of a conscious buyer. I have quite a few things in here that I haven't touched in a very long time. So this will hopefully get me using it, that if I can come back in a year and see that, oh, I haven't touched, you know, my Martha Stewart punches, so maybe I don't need them and I can get rid of them. Or, you know, I have inks that are sitting here that I haven't touched that, okay, maybe I really don't need them, that sort of thing. So I can eventually just have the things that I use the most around. But for now, everything's staying where it is, and hopefully I'll be using things more often and more cards, so I'm not sticking to the same old, if that makes sense. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful Wednesday, and we'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.